Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of
Vault Hunters.
In today's episode, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to build some more create things and I'm going to show you what I set up off camera. I don't remember what level I was the last time I recorded, but I'm 29 now and I'm going to take things a little bit more slowly. Even CWG is only 17 and I'm leveling up too fast. Getting too many things. I don't know, man. It's just these vaults. They go by so quickly, you don't even realize. Also, I think I got lucky with like the kinds of vaults I've been getting and my burgers. So not a huge deal, but if we run vaults, we're going to make sure that they're low level ones so we don't get any experience. Then we could just amass our wealth. But today we're going to focus on some more infrastructure and some cool things that I think you might be interested in. So first things first, I went ahead and I finished my roof, okay? So that took, well, not that much time to actually do, but it took me a long time because I was lazy. But I do have something else to show you. You might be like, hey, Flynn, there's a very suspicious looking barrel in the wall over here. What is this? Well, let me open it. It's empty. And that's because that's not even the real barrel. Okay, well, it is a real barrel. But the thing is, there's a setup behind here, which is a create blast furnace. So all I do, let me break this open. See down here, we've got some very, very complicated gear circuitry going on. But in essence, it's just a fan spinning with some lava and a filter on a brass funnel going into a barrel. And so if I pull this off real quick, we'll be able to see that in this filter, I just have a bunch of smelted things. And yeah, so I just toss in like my raw chromatic iron in here. This is set to deny. Oh no, this is set to allow. So basically, it'll pick up only the things in here. So I have to come in here and whitelist them so that they don't get picked up too early. Like if I'm smelting raw chromatic iron, I don't want it to get picked up. So I want to wait till it turns into chromatic iron ingots. So I did that for all the ingots that I had ore for and a couple block types that I like to smelt and things like charcoal and cactus turning into green dye and whatnot. So that gets slapped on the funnel. And then watch, let's see, I can demonstrate. Hold on, let me grab some cobblestone. Got a whole bunch. Don't panic, I know that number's going up. Don't freak out, I'll explain that in a second. But basically, let me pop over here. I think I can access the barrel from underneath. So let me sneak in there, drop that in, and look at it. It drops here, and it's cooking, it's cooking, it's cooking. And it's done. So now as soon as it turned into stone, it got put inside the barrel. Now, as of right now, I need to manually grab the things out of the output here, but in a minute, I'll go ahead and integrate that into the applied energistics system so that this can be fully automated. What I will do is basically auto-export any of the raw ores over to this barrel so that they are instantly dropped, cooked, and then imported back in the system. So anytime I come back home with the raw ore, it'll automatically process for me and I don't have to worry about it. So you're like, Flynn, that's pretty cool. Now, I'm a little bit curious about why your cobblestone went back up to 4096. Well, let me show you what I've got in the back rooms. And no, not those kind of back rooms. This back room. The back rooms of my home. And you can probably see it right there. But hold on. So there's a couple things that I've got going on back here. Okay, so first of all, we've got the crystal growth accelerators with the lever. That's pretty obvious. But then I have some more cool things over there. So let me show you what's going on. So first and most obviously, I have a cobblestone generator here. So this is using the annihilation plane from Applied Energistics to go ahead and just auto mine the cobblestone. It also works if I like drop stuff on it, it'll get sucked into the system. So I can use this for some other farms as well. All it is just a waterlogged stair facing backwards and a source block of lava, and it's going ahead and making cobblestone. Now, I could speed this up by adding, 3 more annihilation planes on the other cardinal directions, but that sounds like too much work, and I don't need that much cobblestone, at least not that quickly. Well, at least not yet. Maybe after we set up what we're going to set up today, we will, but as of this second, nah. So that's pretty cool. That gets automatically imported into my system, and then down here, I have a very, very, very long series of shafts that provides rotational power over here, and then it translates it up here. And I have it split off going into multiple directions. So first of all, I have it going over here for a millstone, just so I have a millstone. And I was just making some slime balls, which you can create with, no pun intended, the create recipe of using dough and lime dye to make the slime ball. So to make dough, you need wheat flour, which you combine with water, but you get the wheat flour by crushing or milling wheat, as you might expect. So that's why that's here. It's not a big deal. Then I split it off in this direction so that my whole mixing setup is in here. And for some reason, there's a piece of calcite in there. So I'm just going to pick that up. So that's pretty simple. Now this stuff. If you've never seen this before, this is basically an infinite lava generator. So these are create mechanical pumps. They're really, really cheap. They just take copper and check it. In a second, it's going to go ahead and suck it into this fluid tank. So we've got lava in here. just about 700 millibuckets, and it's going and dropping and dropping and dropping. Very cool. So what we've got going on here is we've got some rotational power that powers the first mechanical pump, and then they're basically gears on their own, so they just power the rest in a line, in a series. Then we've got some fluid pipes that are being routed over to this fluid tank. Now this is basically just a buffer, and I've got a couple things going on here. So I also have a little cow in the jar, okay? This is a block that constantly generates milk in fluid form. And so for both these two containers, I have ME import buses, okay, that are basically just sucking up the liquid, which results in us having over 205 buckets of lava in our AE2 system, and of course, 306 buckets of milk. Now you might be wondering, Flynn, why do you need so many buckets of milk? That's kind of crazy. Why would you ever need that much milk? And my answer is, I don't need that much milk. I just wanted to have milk for no reason. But basically, I could make some stuff with, like, I could make chocolate, you know, that's kind of cool. I can make sweet rolls, which I might do, just make a whole bunch of them. Maybe we'll make a sweet roll farm, you know, and then, you know, stuff and things. So, like, milk buckets I can use to auto-craft stuff, like cakes. You know, I can auto-fill the buckets, and then I can, you know, make cakes or pancakes or something. Maybe I'll open up a bakery. I don't have a good reason for why I set up the milk part. I just could. Anyways, so that right there is infinite lava, infinite milk, and infinite cobblestone. Now, we're going to go ahead and try to set up something today. So I'm going to show you real quick what I've got in my system here. And that is I made these two crushing wheels, okay? It's really cheap, but we need to go ahead and set these up because I am going to try to set up infinite iron generation. Not that I particularly need that much iron right now, but 168, that's rookie numbers. So we're going to probably try and set that up as much as we can. Now, the only issue with that is that it's going to take a combination of a lot of create resources and a lot of AE2 resources. So I already have 1,572 iron nuggets in here. I'm going to go ahead and actually just like grab all these, and I'm going to basically just turn them into ingots. So there we go. And I'm sure I'll need iron for some things later on, but also, I don't know, it's just fun to automate things and have a bunch of stuff. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Now, how are we going to get that done? So let's see, we've got cobblestone already being generated, and yep, you guessed it, that's the key. So if we look at what we can use cobblestone for, and we pop on over to the crushing wheel, we can see that we can turn it into gravel. And that's great, that's cool. Now, if I look at what gravel could be used for, and look at the create machines, now we could use a millstone and turn it into flint, but that's not what we want to do. We could crush it again and get flint and clay, which we will probably set up to some degree, but what we're looking for is the bulk washing. So when you wash gravel, you have a 25% chance to get flint, but more importantly, you have a 12% chance to get an iron nugget. Now, you might think that doesn't sound that great. That's only a 12% chance per gravel, and that's going to take freaking forever. Well, the point of a farm that's automated is so that you don't have to worry about it. It just runs on its own, and then it builds up over time. So the cool part is that we can automate this completely. So we'll have infinite flint and infinite iron nuggets. Now, flint, I don't think there's anything I'd really need it for. I could use it to trade with villagers if I get a Fletcher, but I don't feel like doing that. And the people that are going to be getting mechanism can already get flint by basically the same setup, crushing cobblestone into gravel and stuff like that. But they can't get iron nuggets. So that's the main appeal of this. Now, I could crush this again into the sand, flint, and clay ball, and then the sand I could wash into clay for an even higher chance. Or even what I could do is with turning it into sand, we could go ahead and haunt it into soul sand. And then at that point, we can go ahead and wash it, and then we get gold and nether quartz. So that's infinite gold and nether quartz. So we will probably set these things up later. But for now, let's just go ahead and set up the iron one to keep things simple. So what are we going to need for this? Well, I would like to have, I think an export bus or two from Applied Logistics. We're obviously going to want an import bus. I think we want a detector, or is that refined storage? Yeah, that's refined storage. I think we want a level emitter. There we go. So that's kind of cheap. And I think that's really what we need. We'll need a couple chutes to go ahead and drop things. And I think that's all. So let's go ahead and grab a couple create things. Let's grab our wrench. I am going to need these 3 large cog wheels to go ahead and power these 2 crushing wheels. And I can't think of anything else at this second, but we're probably going to come back and use some of this stuff. Let's go ahead and get this stuff set up. Okay, so we went ahead and crafted those things. Let's go ahead and see how we can go ahead and use these things. Now, real quick, actually, I think I want to go ahead and set up my import bus, another one, real quick, so that I can automate that smelting. So there's two places we need to route cables to. One of them is over here, and one of them is downstairs. I didn't show you yet, but this is where we're going to have the automated ore crushing. Really, so I don't have to listen to it. But here it is down here. It's going to be on this wall. All our systems, and it's going to be importing back up to our AE2 system. So we've got to go ahead. Let's run the cable over here first. I feel like that'd be easiest. Mine all this. No big deal. And it looks like we already have some Fluix ME class cables down here. And there's a dense smart cable there too. So this is actually working great. Let's go ahead and run this cable across right now because I'm excited. Just like this. Don't need to worry about channels yet. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and smack one of the import buses onto the bottom of this barrel, and we'll slap that there. Cook it up, and device online. Network apprentice, all set. So now I don't need to go ahead and break open this beautiful nether brick to go ahead and figure out what the heck's going on. I'm going to go ahead and make sure whitelist is set properly for bricks. Brick. There it is. Go ahead and whitelist that and slap this filter back on. Oop, I think that accidentally went inside of it. Why does that happen? I don't know. Wait, hold on, wait. What? No, give me the thing. Oh, right. It got auto-imported into my ME system. So there should be a filter in there. There it is. Silly me. Make sure you click on the right spot or else you're going to be an idiot like me. And right there. There we go. Nope, not that one. This. Beautiful. Now I can close this up and put some of these clay balls in here. And lo and behold, if I go over to my terminal and search brick, should see the start going up from 63 up a little bit more. It's very slow. So some acceleration cards would probably be nice on the import bus, but I'm not really that concerned about it. I'm sure we'll be fine. Okay, so there's that smelting thing done. We've got to go ahead and route the A2 system down into this section. Now, let's go ahead and see. Easiest way would be to dig straight across and see the closest existing cable that we have. Okay, we're in the back rooms now. Let's just break this open and here we go. Beautiful. So we've got some exposed cable there and that's actually really close. So we can go a little bit farther this way. And I think our room is right underneath us. So if I'd like, I can go ahead and meet the cable right here. This might actually be perfect. Let's see. Let's run this cable down. And if we go down, yep, here we are. Perfect. This actually worked out great. Now, the wheels, I know that I want them situated here. So let's see. Break this one. And we're going to put one here and one there. So that is great. So I want the AE2 system to come through. I need the chutes right above and right below. And then a barrel and a barrel. Which means, of course, I need to route this up here. Put a cable there. And let's go ahead and put the export bus here. Now, I'll need to make a capacity card eventually, but I can go ahead and toss cobblestone into here, and that'll start outputting cobblestone into there, which will drop it into the crushing wheel. Now, the other thing we need to do is set up an import bus on the bottom here. Now, we don't need to do any fancy whitelisting because anything that's down here will have already processed. We want to import all of it, so that's not going to need any fancy whitelists. But we are going to go ahead and connect it up as well. I'm actually just going to go straight up here. Boom. Device online, network booting, and let's see. You can see this starts getting absorbed into our system. I'll come back and fix this with some clean stone later, but this is good. So this crushing is now able to be automated. So cobblestone is automatically being sent to this. Since we have an infinite amount, I don't care. And it's pretty slow. I think we're generating and using it at the same speed, but that's not a big deal. Okay, so we just need to get these boys spinning. So that is where these cog wheels come into play. So we're going to go ahead and grab these large ones. We're going to stick them on the back of this. It's getting kind of cramped in here, I know, but bear with me. We might actually need to move these Fluix cables back. Now, if I go ahead and put this there, and we power this cogwheel, it will power the crusher, which is the whole point of this. So how do we get rotational power down here? Well, we're going to need some gearboxes, which I'm probably going to need more than this, but we'll see. I know that if I go up, I do have a line of rotational power going somewhere really close by. So this is great. So I'm going to go ahead and convert this into a vertical gearbox because I know I'm going to need one here. So we'll have a vertical gearbox here. Let's go ahead and connect this with a shaft. That's the wrong way. Connect this with a shaft. And we're going to run this shaft all the way up. Beautiful. Now we need to go ahead and divert power from over here into this system. Now I don't think this entire system matters with what way it's rotating, but I will focus on that later. So what we're going to do is basically we need another vertical gearbox here. And we're going to need one more gearbox. So let me go make that real quick because I don't have it on me. All right, I've got the gearboxes. So all we've got to do now is go ahead and place one right here. Oh, I didn't mean to vein mine that. So right there. That'll go ahead and give us power going this way, but continue the rotational power that way. And we connect these with shafts. Beautiful. So now we've got the crushing wheels rotating. Perfect. Now we just want to see if the output actually goes into this barrel or not, and we can speed these up if we really wanted to as well. Great, so we're getting gravel. That's perfect. Now what do we need to do with the gravel? Well, quite simply, we're actually going to need another export and import bus to go ahead and automate the portion about washing it, which I didn't really think about. So, first of all, let me just make this look pretty again. There we go. Crushing automated. Now let's go ahead and set up the automatic washing. So now we need to wash that gravel. You might be wondering, Flynn, how are you going to wash that gravel? Well, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to wash that gravel. Exhibit A, but that I'm running towards, we have our washing station already here. So basically, all we need to do is set up another system like this one. So I'm going to go see real quick. Actually, I forgot. I do need a funnel. And I'm going to go ahead and make another filter. All right, and in this filter, we want everything that's, well, basically, I guess we don't want gravel. So I'd rather do a deny list and do gravel. If I do this, whoops, and put the funnel there. Perfect, that stops the water. So that's great. And then we just smack the filter on the front. And then we just need the same setup as before, which is a barrel right here with a chute right there. Now all we've got to do is hook this up into our AE2 system, like so. We just need an export bus, import bus, and cables. So we're going to be exporting into the top inventory, and that is just only going to be gravel. And then importing from the bottom barrel, basically everything that's in there. So I'm going to go ahead and run this cable down along here, because no one's going to be seeing this for the most part. Hook that into here, and we're just going to lazily run this cable straight up and hook these all together. Make sure these booted properly. Device missing channel. Okay, that's what I was afraid of. So it looks like we've overloaded one of these circuits, which stinks. Let me see. Would I be able to make any P2P tunnels? Ooh, yes, I could. Okay, so that's not going to work until I figure out how to fix these channel issues, which basically just means that I have way too much going into these Flux cables. These can only support 8 channels each, so I need to branch off some more of it straight from this dense smart cable. So I wonder if I just temporarily break this and instead route these up this way. Let's see. I don't want to connect these. I need anchors, I think. I don't want that to be connected, so I can run this down like that. Is that okay? Okay, we've got 10 of 32 channels, which I think means that the system over there is going to be set up, and we can prove it by checking gravel. It's going up and down, which means the dropper is now configured and working, so we can go see our work over here, take off our magnet, and check it out. So gravel's not being picked up until it's washed and turned into iron nuggets and flint. So we've got it all automated and perfectly set up. This is great. So that's pretty cool. We've got iron fully automated. Now, we could take this a step further and go ahead and make sand, which I probably will, because then we can automate glass, which is a pain in the butt to make sometimes, and we can also automate clay balls. And with sand, we can also turn it into soul sand and automate quartz and gold. So we'll probably do those things too. There's a lot of stuff that could be done with Create, and this is the main reason why I wanted to go this route. Mechanism's great for ore doubling or quintupling or whatever, and some other cool nifty things like gunpowder, but Create isn't without its tricks. So that's really nice. We've got our supply of iron nuggets slowly going up, which is great. And we've got our supply of flint that's going up. And I want to make sure that these are actually in our drawer system, because we can expand that later and also put a void filter upgrade on them in case they go too far. So I do have flint in here, and that's great. Now, iron nuggets I'm also looking for. I'm fairly certain I have them in here somewhere. There they are right there. So we've got iron nuggets, so that's great. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's video. We went ahead and automated the iron production, which is pretty cool in my opinion. And I showed you all my setup for automating cobblestone and for automating lava. And let's see, I just want to make sure this gets pulled in. Okay, no, so these pipes are actually going the wrong way now. Now, I could put another gearbox down there, but I think if I use the wrench, I can just rotate these, and they'll go ahead and work in the right direction. Yes, perfect. And these other machines don't need to really rotate in any specific direction, so that's all good. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!